I think the administration will need to answer that question. I'm going to reserve judgment until they do. But I think it's important to point out that the Biden approach was very different in the sense that it looks, as far as we can tell, that it was inadvertent that these documents were in these locations.
No, whoops, that's not an excuse. Regardless, Republicans have already begun an investigation into the president's handling of these secret documents. Where does that stand tonight? Joining me now to discuss, Louisiana Republican Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Mike Johnson. So Congressman Johnson is leading the investigation along with his fellow Congressman, Jim Jordan. Welcome to the show. Tell me what your investigation seeks to discover.
Well, there are a lot of questions, Kennedy, and I think you covered it really well here in a couple of minutes. There's a lot to keep up with because there's so many tranches of documents now they found in so many places. The timeline is very important, and I'm so glad that you began with that because obviously this was first discovered before the election. So among our top questions for the Department of Justice and for the Attorney General himself, Merrick Garland, is when did you know about this? And why did you conceal this? On appearances, that's what it looks like, until after the election. That is a big, big question, an important one. And we also want to know, what correspondence have you had with the president and his representatives about all this? It seems to be a double standard. We know that when there were documents supposedly at Mar-a-Lago, there was a raid. They played it out on national television for everybody to see. Why hasn't Merrick Garland ordered a search of the other Biden properties, since apparently they just have documents, scattered around everywhere? Lots of important questions, and it looks like a complete double standard. This is what we talk about. This is what we mean when we refer to the weaponization of the federal government. They are applying justice for political purposes and in political ways, and it's demeaning the institutions that they supposedly represent.
I have to agree with you. I think that we are seeing unequal application and unequal protection under the law. And that is incredibly problematic when you're dealing with one president who says that he wants to run again, and then the raid on a former president who also wants to run against the current president, whose executive branch oversees not only the FBI that raided Trump's home, but also the AG who is in charge of this whole thing. So in order to look that there's not conflicts of interest, of course, Merrick Garland has to appoint a special counsel in both cases. So let's talk a little bit about the non-existent logs. The president is saying, and I had a problem with this, President Trump as well. I think whoever has access to the most powerful person in the world, we should know who that person or people, we should have a list of those names. Is there such a thing as a private residence with the President of the United States?
Well, I don't think so, and that's a real problem. And if there is not a list of who visited that residence, where we now know that at least for several years, you've had top secret, highly classified, very sensitive information, then we're going to have to get that information in some other way. We may have to subpoena family members of the Bidens and others who have been at the residence and work there to figure this out. Not because this is a political retribution exercise. This is because we have some of the most highly sensitive documents relating to our adversaries, relating to Iran and China, dealings in Ukraine. And they were at the residence, by the way, where Hunter Biden himself listed as the place where he lived in recent years. So I mean, this is a big, big concern of the American people, and it deals directly with our national security. We have to get to the bottom of it. The American people are owed those answers, and we have to seek accountability and I think transparency, and that will do well to shore up people's belief in the institutions. That's what we're about. We've already begun the process. We're also going to have a select committee, as you know, on the weaponization of the federal government, but this has already begun in oversight and judiciary. We put timelines on the request for the documents and the information, and we'll see if the Attorney General complies. He better, because the credibility that the whole Department of Justice is what's on the line here.
And it has been for some time. It's been especially problematic with the FBI. And we're going to get into the relationship between the FBI and Twitter a little later in the show. Congressman, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Candy. Appreciate it.